These are 6 court cases: real names, real dates, real citations, filed in a real federal court by a real New York law firm, and not one of them exists. Opposing counsel went looking first, then the judge. 6 searches, 6 empty drawers. One of the lawyers had asked ChatGPT for research, and ChatGPT had produced case law the way it produces everything else. The case is called Mata versus Avianca, and it's become the most famous AI failure on record. But here's the thing, almost everyone gets wrong about it. The machine wasn't lying. Lying means knowing the truth and steering away from it. And as we saw in plate number 1, there's no reader in there checking anything against the world. Something stranger was happening, and stranger it turns out is more fixable. By the end of this video, you'll watch researchers reach into a model's wiring, flip one switch, and make it confidently invent a life story for a man who does not exist. On demand, every time. And once you've seen that switch, you'll understand why the machine makes things up, when it's most likely to happen, and what's actually being done about it. This is plate number 2 of A Field Guide to the Language Machine. Why the machine makes things up. If you saw plate number 1, you know the machine answers by guessing the next token over and over, each guess weighted by everything it read in training. If you didn't, that one sentence is genuinely the whole mechanism, and the full picture is one video back. Here's what that mechanism actually optimizes. Every guess is scored on one axis only. How plausible is this token, given everything before it? Plausible, as in, looks like the training data. Notice what's missing. True and plausible are different axes. They usually point the same way because the training data is mostly true, but nothing in the machine ever measures the second axis. It can't. There's no fact checker stage in the pipeline we drew. A philosopher named Harry Frankfurt had a precise word for speech that's indifferent to truth, neither honest nor lying, just built to sound right. The polite version is the machine is a plausibility engine. Fake citations aren't a malfunction of that engine. They're the engine doing exactly what it was built to do in a place where plausible and true came apart. So, the real question isn't, why does it make things up? The engine explains that. The real question is, why doesn't it just say, I don't know? In 2025, researchers at OpenAI published a paper asking exactly that question, and their answers start somewhere unexpected. Your school exams. Imagine a multiple choice test where a blank answer scores 0 and a wrong answer also scores 0. What does every student on earth learn to do? Guess. Always guess. A guess costs nothing and might score a point. Now look at how we grade language models. Nearly every major benchmark, the public leaderboards these systems compete on, works exactly like that exam. Saying I don't know scores 0. A confident wrong answer scores 0. A confident right answer scores 1. Under that grading, a model that honestly says I'm not sure will always rank below a model that bluffs. Not because bluffing is smart, but because across thousands of questions, some bluffs land. The researchers put it bluntly, our evaluations reward guessing over acknowledging uncertainty. We built a global exam system for these machines, and the exam selects for confident bluffers. The paper was peer-reviewed and published in Nature in 2026, and it reframed the whole problem. Hallucination isn't only a defect inside the machine, it's also an incentive we set up around the machine, mostly without noticing. But an incentive is the why. It tells you why the guessers won. It doesn't show you what a guess physically looks like in the wiring at the moment it happens. For that, we need to open the machine again. That same year, researchers at Anthropic built something like a microscope for their own model, Claude. A way to watch which internal features light up step by step while it answers. And inside, they found something almost nobody expected. The model's default answer, wired in as the resting state, is I don't know. There is a circuit that's switched on from the start, whose whole job is to say, I can't answer this. Silence, declining, humility. That's the factory setting. So, how does it ever answer anything? When the question mentions something, the model knows well, a separate feature lights up. Call it the familiarity switch, and that switch reaches over and turns the I don't know circuit off. Ask it about Michael Jordan, and the familiarity switch fires, the default shuts down, and the knowledge flows. Ask it about a made up name, and ideally the switch stays quiet, the default holds, and the model says exactly what it should. I have no information about this person. Now, watch what the researchers did next, because this is the single most illuminating experiment in this whole story. They took a name the model knows nothing about, Michael Batkin, a man who does not exist, and they reached into the wiring and manually forced the familiarity switch on. The I don't know circuit shut down as designed. But behind it, there was no knowledge waiting, just the plausibility engine, now running with the safety off. And the model confidently declared that Michael Batkin plays chess. Flip the switch. Get a hallucination. Every time on demand, that is what a hallucination is, seen from inside the I don't know default, wrongly switched off, with the plausibility engine filling the silence. And in the wild, no researcher needed. A name that merely feels familiar, that sits close to famous names, can fire the switch on its own. The model recognizes the shape of the name without holding a single fact about it, and out comes a fluent, confident biography of nothing. One honest caveat. Because this channel promised you nothing dumbed down. This microscope is new. It was pointed at one model, Claude 3.5 Haiku, and it captures a fraction of everything going on inside. So take it as one way hallucination happens, likely a common one, seen clearly for the first time. It is not yet the whole map. Humans, by the way, do something eerily similar. Certain memory disorders produce what neurologists call confabulation. Fluent, detailed, completely sincere false memories. No intent to deceive anywhere, which is why many researchers quietly prefer that word for machines too. So the switch explains the moment of failure. One question left. Why does it fail where it fails? Why courtroom citations and obscure papers and almost never the capital of France? The same Nature paper has the cleanest answer, and it comes down to one number. How many times did the training data contain the fact you're asking about? The capital of France appears millions of times in every phrasing imaginable. The pattern is carved so deep that plausible and true point in exactly the same direction. The engine can't miss. Quick test. 3 facts: the capital of France, the year the Berlin Wall fell, and the docket number of a 2019 contract dispute. You already know which one the machine will invent. In a moment, you'll know why. A specific court case, an exact page number, the middle author on a niche paper. Many of those facts appeared exactly once in the entire training data. The researchers call these singletons, and they prove something uncomfortable. Any model whose confidence honestly tracks its training data must hallucinate on some floor of singleton facts, not an engineering shortfall, a theorem. One appearance isn't a pattern, and this whole machine, as we drew it in plate 1, is a pattern engine. Where there's no groove to follow, it does what it always does, and slides into the nearest well-worn groove instead. That's why fake citations look so real. They build from the average of 1,000 real ones. So here's your field rule, and it's more useful than any list of tips. The machine is at its best exactly where you could have Googled it, and at its most dangerous where the fact is rare, specific, and hard to check. The rarer the fact, the more the plausible drifts from the true. Now the fixes, 3 real ones and 1 popular myth to clear away first. The myth is that hallucination comes from the randomness dial, the temperature setting. Turn it to 0 and the machine doesn't stop inventing. It just invents the same thing every time. Greedy decoding still picks the most plausible token, and when the switch is wrongly off, the most plausible token is still a fabrication. Real fix number 1. Stop making the machine answer from memory. Retrieval systems fetch actual documents first, and the model writes from what's in front of it like an open book exam. The engine still only measures plausibility, but now the most plausible continuation is the text it was just handed. Grounding its call, and it's why the machine can quote today's news. Real fix number 2. Change the exam. Grade uncertainty as a valid answer. Penalize confident errors more than honest blanks. That's the Nature paper's actual proposal. And benchmark builders, including at least one major lab, have started regrading their evals around it. Real fix number 3. Train the I don't know reflex directly, so the familiarity switch is calibrated rather than trigger happy. Newer models really do decline more often, and that's not the machine getting weaker. That's the switch getting honest. But notice what none of these do. None of them add a truth axis to the engine. They ground it, they regrade it, they calibrate it. Mitigated is the honest word, not solved. Anyone who tells you hallucination is solved is measuring plausibility, not truth. So, the whole plate in one breath. The engine only measures plausible. The exams rewarded bluffing. The I don't know switch can be fooled by familiarity, and rare facts have no groove to hold the engine on the road. Which means the lawyers in Mata versus Avianca weren't undone by a machine that lies. They were undone by asking for the rarest kind of fact from an engine that fills silence with the most plausible shape available, rewarded at every exam it ever sat, for never leaving an answer blank. Next plate, how recommendation algorithms read your mind. The other machine you use every day, the one that decides what you see, and it works on a completely different principle. If a machine has ever confidently made something up to you, tell me the story in the comments. The best one becomes a plate. And if you want to see the switch flipping experiment in the original paper, everything is linked below. Subscribe if you'd like the next plate when it's ready. I'll see you there.